thoughts on the team coming back here and getting back into it after Christmas break? How's practice been?
Yeah, no, this is our third practice coming back, and the first one, I'm not going to lie to you, there's a little bit of rust on a few guys, but knowing that they got better yesterday, and we had a really good practice today here. So, I think that's part of it, taking a break mentally and physically of 8 or 9 days and then coming back into it. But, our guys stayed relatively in good shape, and now we're dialed in again for the second half here, and we're excited to get going. It was a well-needed break. Didn't have any weekends off in the first half, and now we're excited to get going with the U.S. team and then eventually Cornell the following week.
Your thoughts on seeing Ashton Calder back on the ice for you guys, and where do you think he's at?
Yeah, no, exciting. You just forget. Sometimes you get so deep into your team as far as the guys that are available and playing from week to week that, he was out of our lineup for, I think, 3 weekends there before we took a break. And to see him on the ice with his experience and what he can do, it's exciting again. And I know he's excited to be back. I know I was talking with him today, and he said it's absolutely terrible being out of the lineup, number one, because you're not part of the group, but number two is, you lose a little bit. But he didn't look like he was out of shape or he looked very sharp, and we're excited to have him back in our group.
How big is this game for Luke Bass to Brent Johnson?
Yeah, very, very big in the fact that, you're seeing, Luke Bass get some minutes in Colorado College. He, with Jake Sanderson gone and Tyler Clevin gone now, he's going to get even more minutes with both those guys. Just Jake was out with an illness before the break, and now both those guys gone. And now Brent Johnson's going to have an opportunity to get in the lineup now and play, and he's going to play a lot. We're going to have 6 defensemen that are available, and he's going to get called upon in certain situations to show what he has. And I know it's always tough being out of the lineup for an extended period of time and then coming back in. But he's had some really good practices here, and we've simulated practice the last couple of days into some scrimmages that hopefully will correlate to the real thing here. So we're looking forward to Brent getting some minutes for sure.
You guys have a goalie plan going into this yet, or is it kind of a wait and see?
Yeah, no, I think it's it's considered an exhibition game, so it's considered an opportunity to probably get a couple of guys in for sure. I think what we'll do is we'll see where it goes from there. But I think what we'll do is lean on both Zach Driscoll and Jacob Helston for sure. And we'll see where we go from there.
8 or 9 days enough for anybody to surprise you coming back to kind of pop up a little bit?
Yeah, no, I think that's just the right amount of time. I think any time more than that, then you really lose probably a little bit of momentum. And any time shorter than that, it doesn't allow you to get healed up properly. We've had some guys with some bumps and bruises. They were nicked up a little bit, and we had a couple guys with some flu-like symptoms too that were kind of running low a little bit, and that's a perfect amount of time. And just to answer your question, they look good. They look revitalized. They look re-energized as far as mentally and physically ready to go again. And that's one of the things that we balance here at North Dakota. We want to play as many games as we can, meaning that there's no time off in the first half. Some other teams have 1 or 2 bye weekends, and we want to play games. And I think that's a byproduct of getting fatigued and run down a little bit. But now we're there. We're back there again to get going.
How valuable is this one-off, this U18 game?
Yeah, it's very valuable because it provides a total game-like situation without having a consequence of results, meaning that, if you win a game, you win a game. If you lose a game, that doesn't go against you in the pairwise. It's a situation where you're playing a high-end team that we've played in year out. It's a tough game. They're very skilled. They might be the U18 team, but they're the best players in the country at their peer group or their age level. And again, it's a situation where we might be a little bit older, but they're a highly skilled team, and we look forward to that challenge.
Spicer signed his NLI, right?
We did sign his NLI, yes.
So you can talk about him.
100%.
Just thoughts on the season he's having?
Well, I think it's a very good season, and when I say very good, I felt sorry for him last year. I think he was in quarantine protocols a couple of times last year. He had hernia surgery that knocked him out for an extended period of time. Every time that he got going, he got knocked back a bit. And now this year he has momentum. He's been relatively healthy, and he's been having a good year analytically too, as far as what he's put up for points. And I think it's a situation we have a local player here that's playing at a high level, at a high program, and we're excited about him being part of our group in the future because he brings a lot to the table. He not only has high skill level, but he has high compete level, and those are the two qualities that you need to have when you play at North Dakota.
It's hitting close to home with it affecting your men's basketball program this weekend, but the whole COVID situation, is there a refresher conversation you have to have with these guys? How are you guys approaching it going into the second half of the season?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's always there. It's always prevalent, and it's always something that we talk about too. About making the right choices every single day on where you are and who you're with and different things like that. Just trying to control, I guess, yourself a little bit more. And you're absolutely right. The second half is even more important than the first, knowing that you're getting closer to playoffs and national tournament and things like that, that you want to make sure that you have everybody available. But, I think it's one of those things that, we treat our players like grown men, and, and we deal with them accordingly as far as, making the right choices, and we hope they are, and having a situation where they know what's in front of them at the end of the year here.
Do you guys plan on having a chat with Sandy about the Olympics? I'm sure he's going to get asked. He probably already has been asked, but and how does that decision go in conversation with you guys? Yeah, no,
and that's an ongoing conversation, and I think what happens is between his family, his advisory group, himself, we have those ongoing conversations. I think first and foremost is getting through, I guess, what you're seeing right now at the World Juniors, how much of a problem they're having there on playing games and seeing where that goes. And then, I think the other part is see where the Olympics go too. I think what we're dealing with now, just like anything else, even the NHL, they're shutting games down and postponing games. Like, I think you have to let things happen here to see what, because in essence, things might happen that you have no control of, and that you don't have to make a decision in the back end. So I think it's one of those things that you try to get ahead of a little bit with communication, but also stay close to how things change on a day-to-day basis with different things going on here.
Have you talked to any other coach? I'm sure like Western Michigan, Ronnie Adder might be asked, and some of the other coaches, Sandy might have. Cates get asked, or someone. Have you talked to any of those?
I really haven't yet, and I think that's one thing when you get after the Christmas break and get into the New Year's here. Once we get back into the swing of things here of our conference play, I think that'll become more evident. I think, like I said before, once World Juniors, let's get one international tournament done, and then let's see what happens after that. And I guess my concern is, making it, players and people making decisions before things even come to fruition. And again, I think you just got to hopefully stay close to it, but just kind of keep it in a balance right now of not making a decision until you really get all the information.
Lastly, just this game this weekend, you guys have a really big series coming up afterwards against a good team. How vital is it to use this game to get back to the level you guys were at when you win the break?
Well, it's huge. I know Tim Hennessy asked me the other day about, how do you use this game? Is it a game where you just go through it and it's just an exhibition game? No, it isn't. To us, it's not just an exhibition game. It's we want to try to get up to speed right away, because obviously we know we have Cornell coming in. That's a top 10 team, and they're very experienced, and they're a well coached team, and we want to make sure that we're ready when Cornell does come in here. So again, we're going to approach the USA game like it's a NCHC game, and hopefully we'll be sharp enough to get through that with the players we have to build upon our second half of our season here.
Nick, do you have anything on Zoom?
Sorry, Coach, somebody asked this, but what do you like about where your team is at heading into the second half?
Well, I think it's one of the things is the first half of the season, especially with 14 new players, you never knew where we were at as far as a team, and we came together relatively quick. And I think the biggest thing for us is getting some wins under our belt. And the games get exponentially tougher in the second half on winning games. And it's nice to know that we had a good start, to have a base of foundation of some wins under our belt to get going here. And now we got to turn the page. And, we're getting some guys back. We're getting Nash and Calder back into our lineup. We'll get those two guys back from World Junior here, hopefully after this weekend. And it's a situation where hopefully we'll be healthy. And I guess one thing is you got to make sure that you're flexible and you're you got patients in your group here with COVID, with influenza, with a lot of different things going on. You got to make sure that you're mentally tough. And, you know, we talked about that in the first half of the season as being mentally tough, and I thought our guys did a good job of that.
What did a lot of these wins in the first half do for the young team? You talked about before the season was going to be all about how the depth of the team is and how everyone gels together.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question. What putting some wins together, stringing some wins together, that builds your confidence. And we talk about playing with swagger. Well, the only way you can play with swagger is winning some games and putting a string of games together like that. So I think it really helps, especially with a new group coming together to do that, to win games and play with a little bit of swagger.